यशोदा राधा दामोदर के बारे में बहुत कम लोग जानकारी, कम लोग अधिक रूप में यशोदा दामोदर के बारे में जो कृष्ण के भाई साहब उस समय माँ यशोदा
At that time, when Mother Yashoda tied Krishna,
इस रूप से कहा जाता है यशोदा
it's called Yashoda Damodar.
कृष्ण के केवल दो अपराध
Krishna had two offenses. And for those reasons, Mother Yashoda tied him. One is that he broke the yogurt pot, and second, all that yogurt and makhan, he fed to the crows and the monkeys. For this reason, to give punishment to Gopal, she tied him to the grinding mortar. For this reason, it's called Yashoda Damodar. This Vatsalya Ras, the Ras of motherly affection, Parikshit Maharaj heard from Sukadeva Goswami in Padma Puran. Satyavrat Muni, in a very wonderful way, described this pastime. Every year we hear, and especially our Guru Pad Padma used to recite Ishwa Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodam Yoluk Kaladvavamanam Param Rishtamadyam Tato Drutta Gopya Udam Tilmuhur Netram Yugam Rijantam Karamboja Yugmena Shatanka Netra Mohoshvashakampa Trireka Kanta Stita Grevam Damo Daram Bhakti Vadam Drik Drik Swalilabir Ananda Kunde Swagosh Nivajantam Akhyapayantam Tadiyastitagnishu Bhaktirchita We're describing Radha Damodar pastimes. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, in the 9th chapter, the pastime of Damodar has been described.
यह सुन रही थी कि
So he's reading from the text.
ये उनकी लाला
Mother Yashoda thinking his beloved son,
चली
his dear son, is stealing and eating the yogurt and makhan.
दूसरा ने दूध दही और माखन को
Makhan is a stage between yogurt and ghee, so it's not actually yogurt.
यह समझकर गोपियों ने
It's a special cream.
रहना कि तुम्हारी बालक मेरे हम लोग के घर में दूध दही और माखन को फैलाता है
So the gopis, they complain to Mother Yashoda that Krishna comes and steals the yogurt from there, the makhan from their house, and also wastes it.
अच्छा माखन और दही नहीं डालते गोपाल को क्या करते थे
Gopal used to spoil all of their precious makhan,
अथवा
this cream.
उनके दूध और दही की मुठ्ठियों को फोड़ देते हैं
They used to break the milk pots and the yogurt pots.
उनके हानि कैसे कम हो?
How can we feed our children?
ये गोपियां
In this way, the gopis used to complain.
अब कहीं से समझ नहीं होता है हम अपने सोचते हैं कि हम आप घर के छोड़कर
We cannot tolerate this. We've all decided to leave Braj and stay somewhere else.
कौन बोले
When Gopia, the gopis are saying, we cannot tolerate this, and in front of Mother Yashoda they are complaining. We are so tired of your son that we are thinking, leave Braj and go somewhere else. Every day, hearing these complaints, Mother thought, does my Gopal doesn't like the makhan from my house? Is it sour? And for this reason, he is going to other gopis' house and stealing from them the makhan. Therefore, today, I will myself today churn the yogurt and make this cream to feed Gopal. Gurudev used to say, in Braj especially, this one special cow, this cow produces milk. This is called Padma Gandha Dud. It had fragrance like a lotus flower. She used to, what's that cow called? Padma Gandha. Cow. In this type, only two cows. In Vrishabhanu Maharaj's house and Nanda Maharaj's house. There are only two cows. There aren't any others. And such sweet, fragrant milk, yogurt, and leaving that, and Gopal is going to others' house, where you get some nice food preparation. That's where we would want to go. Where will you eat? Where there is nice, tasty food stuff preparations. So Mother Yashoda could not believe that Gopal, leaving the sweet makhan of his own home, that he would go to another's and steal from there. And she used to laugh at this. Kaun haste tha? Kaun haste? Yashoda used to laugh. How is this possible? Mother Yashoda used to laugh. Hearing this. On Deepavali day, Mother Yashoda gave leave to all of the servants of the house. And during the time of Deepavali, Deepdan, the offering of ghee lamps, every day during this period one should offer ghee lamp to Thakurji. Mother Yashoda gave leave to all of the servants of the house. These different names of the maidservant. Today I will take milk, milk the cows, heat the milk, make yogurt, and I'll make makhan. Meaning, seva should be done by oneself. One who takes service from maids and others is not right. So seva should be done with one's own hands, where there is possessiveness. For this reason, it is being shown. Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad. Mother Yashoda herself boiled the milk and put some culture in there, and early in the morning made yogurt and churned the yogurt. Mother Yashoda, deeply absorbed in her mood, started to churn the yogurt. While she was churning, these sounds of the mridanga playing on one side and kartal playing on the other side. When the large side of the mridanga is played with the left hand, and the small end, who knows how to play mridanga? For this reason, when Mother Yashoda, it was like with that grinding sound during the churning, it seemed like the mridanga was playing in rhythm, in beat. Meaning and the essence. If you do not remember the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, this Digdhan in Hindi means unfortunate. Question. Saviri. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami Pad is describing in whose ears once the pastimes of the Lord are not heard, who do not enter, are considered to be 4 types of animals: Sabir, Varahar, Ushta, Khari. Gadagraj, the Lord's name. One name of the Lord is Gadagraj. If they do not hear this name, there are 4 types of animals. Sabir means dog, with a reason or without reason. The dog is barking, meaning to say, those who do not worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead are like Sabir, the dog barking. Bara, like pig. Suvar is another name for pig. He stays in dirty places. He likes dirty and smelly places. Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada gave one example. One person was selling fish. He went to sell fish at night. When he returned, he took rest in one flower garden. He was a bit tired. He thought I would rest for a short time. He couldn't sleep. Why couldn't he sleep? He could not sleep in the fragrant rose garden. He was disturbed by the fragrant smell of the flowers. In the end, what did he do? In that basket in which he put the fish, he put underneath his head, and then he slept with ease, meaning those people who are in sense gratification are only happy in sense gratification. Listening to Bhagavad Gita and chanting the Lord's names, they do not appreciate, they do not like the example in the story, the fisherman only liked the smell of fish. Like the pig is like this, he likes the dirty place. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the shlok is there. Sabir means dog. Varaha means pig. Suvar. Ushta means camel. What does the camel like? It likes thorns. The thorn bush the camel likes, and which has thorns, thorn bush. He likes those thorns. When the thorn cuts the side of its mouth, the blood comes out. He likes to suck on that blood. He thinks that is pleasure. Meaning, karmi lok. Karma is like performing activities. They like karma kand. Gyanis, they like studying. Devotees like bhakti. They like seva. They like to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Karmi, Gyanis, Bhakta, 3. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, example is given. The devotee is given compared to the koil, the bird, the cuckoo bird. He likes to sit on the mango tree where the flowers are fragrant. and taste that rust from there. The crow likes to sit on the neem tree and likes to eat the fruits from the neem tree. A little bit bitter. Have you eaten? So little sized berries when they're a little bit yellow in color, when they ripen. It's the seed of which is very bitter. Have you eaten? There's so many. They used to eat quite a few. They used to sell them. Used to be a tablet. Sorry? No, neem tree. Right. Yeah, cuckoo bird. And the crow sits on the neem tree. That's who's a non-devotee. They like the neem fruits. But the bhakta, the koil, cuckoo bird, they like the mango tree. Meaning, the gyanis, they do ka, the crow, meaning not this, not this, not this. There's only Brahma, nothing else. Not this, not this, not this. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the shloka is there. They describe these four types of animals. Gadaha, the donkey, what does he like? Likes the female donkey. Gadhi is feminine, and the Gadha is the masculine. The Gadha, the male donkey, chases after the female donkey, who in turn kicks the mouth of the donkey, and blood comes from there. Still, the male donkey chases the female donkey. The donkey kicks with its hind legs. It gets blood from its mouth. But still, meaning that this three folds of material suffering, Adhyatmic, Adidevik, Adibhautik, they are suffering. They are thinking this is happiness. When we think that the material world is a place of suffering, only at that point will our devotional practice start. If you ask everyone, what do you think of this material world? We don't like. They will say, you really think this? And so if you're not happy, then why don't you leave it? So the real truth is that they don't really believe this. They are just saying. If the example is given, when there's water flowing from the tap, for some reason there is a current in that water. So this connection between the water and the electricity. And if you touch that water, you will get electric shock. Will you put your hand again in that water? Knowingly you will not do this. Sometimes when you put the water tap on and there's a current in that water tap, next time you will not touch that tap or the water. Then you will fix it. Meaning that not until you have this realization that this material world is a place of suffering, will you start to practice devotional service. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, this way rare human birth, we're like behaving like donkeys. This burden of weight on the back of the donkey we're carrying, and we're wandering in this repeated cycle of birth and death. One person was climbing up to the Himalayas on the back of the donkey at night. It's going from one place to another place. There was a restaurant in the in between. The donkey is tied with the rope around its legs, but that person or that day forgot to take the rope. Well, how to tie the donkey? Then he got thinking and thinking. He said, "Donkey is a donkey. It's stupid. If he goes from one side to another, it's very high on the mountain, he will die, fall. Who will carry the weight?" So the person was thinking, was in dilemma. Then one sadhu came and said to that, "I will help you. Do one thing. As you do every day, tie the donkey. But how can I do this without a rope? Just lift the leg. Just pretend you're tying him." He took one leg of the donkey as if he was tying the donkey. And there's no rope. He was just lifted one leg and with the other hand pretended to tie the donkey. The donkey is thinking, my master is tying me as he usually ties me. And he was, if you wake up every day at 7 o'clock, then you will get into that habit. When you think before you go to sleep that I will wake up at certain time, then you won't need an alarm clock. This is my experience. 3 or 4 times, whatever time you want to wake up, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And then with this habit, you will wake up. So the donkey, he tied. Early in the morning, the man put the weight back on the donkey's back, but the donkey, it would not move. Then another dilemma. The master beat the donkey, but the donkey would not move. There's another dilemma. How to get the donkey to move? Then he called this sadhu again. What mantra did you give to this donkey, that this donkey does not move? At least open the rope you tied. He's saying, I did not tie, so how can I open it? Then pretend again, lift his leg again, and then as if you were untying the donkey's legs, do the same thing. Untie, pretend to untie, the other way around. So he did the same. Now the donkey is thinking, my legs are free. And the Bihari Dal Ki Jai. This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying. We try and understand this. The work that we do in this material world. Why? What are we doing it for? And this is our illusion. The work we perform for this in this world is illusory.
वास्तव में आप तो बोल रहे सुन रहे
You are hearing, but not experiencing. When you experience and realize, it's easy to say, not until you have this experience in your life will you have this renunciation. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it describes these 4 different animals, nature. This name of the Lord, Gada Griha, if until we do not worship this personality of Godhead, then we are considered to be like these 4 types of animals, like a swear to the human. But I'm not swearing at you. I'm trying to explain to you like a mother or father explains to a small child who is foolish. In that same way, it is described here, that living entity. It does not perform by remembering the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Their life is unfortunate. Dik-dang, dikkar. Dikkar. It's very unfortunate. When Mother Yashoda is chanting the yaga, she is so absorbed in a deep mood. So this is telling us how we should perform our service, becoming very absorbed. This is a teaching for the sadhak, the practitioner, how we should serve the Lord Govinda, His name, form and qualities, by being absorbed in Chaitanya Bhagavat Vrindavan Das Thakur is writing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was chanting the names of the Lord, he was chanting with absorption. Raganuga Bhakti has 2 characteristics, Avesh, and the second is Utkantha, absorption and eagerness. Eagerness. As if without doing, I cannot maintain my life. Like being very thirsty, we have to look for water. When the body becomes hot, you have to put water on the body. And you have to put water on the forehead or a damp cloth when there's a high fever. Then just to cool the head. Sometimes ice is given, the brain becomes overheated. In that same way, when the living entity thinks that this suffering in this material world is real suffering, then they will look for a solution, they will look for water. When one is thirsty, one will look for water, meaning if we don't have this, then we don't have the eagerness to perform devotional practice. We don't. Utkantha means that thing from which we cannot survive our life. The disciple tells his guru, I understand everything, but I don't understand this Utkantha. What is Utkantha? The guru said to the disciple, come tomorrow morning to bathe. They entered the water to bathe. They're both close to each other. The guru took the shoulders of the disciple and pushed him under the water for 3 or 4 seconds, and then he came up and taking a breath the disciples thinking, I'm saved, I'm saved. Why? I was suffering so much, I could not breathe. The Guru said, what were you thinking when you were under the water? Just to come out of the water and take a breath. I did not think of anything else, just to breathe. Meaning, in the same way, in our practice, we have this taste, then this eagerness will come. Where will I find my Lord? How will I perform my devotional practice? There's nothing else. In this shloka, Hare Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati Makoti Sukriti Nalabhyate. Where can I find this Prem Bhakti? I can do anything to attain this transcendental loving devotional service. What price will you pay with this greed? With the price of greed. After many millions of lifetimes accumulation of Sukriti, pious credits, when it's accumulated to get this Braj Prem, we will have to develop this greed. When you find such a devotee, Brajrasik devotee, and sit by them and listen to Harikatha, how much will you have to give? Nothing else but greed. Yes. Priyatam Kidgotopi Labhyate is shloka by Rai Ramananda. After many lifetimes, this greed is collected and matured. It cannot be attained by performing pious activities for millions of births. But in this Govinda Damodar Stotram, Mother Yashoda is absorbed in a Vatsalya Bhav. With this very sweet mood, she is chanting. Meaning, when Mother Yashoda is singing this kirtan, Govinda Damodar Dara Mahadaveti, Dara Mahadaveti. Where was Krishna at that time? He was resting on his bed. Gopal was sleeping, and hearing this kirtan, his sleep broke. Meaning, when somebody calls Govinda, Govinda will not sleep. Here it is written, Mother Yashoda was absorbed in her Vatsalya bhav. Kanaya woke up hearing Mother Yashoda singing and calling his name. How will the Lord be able to sleep if you call him with love and devotion? He will wake up. When a devotee calls the Lord, the Lord immediately comes. Mother Yashoda is doing this kirtan. If you want to call somebody, call somebody with absorption and with love. In this pastime of Ras Khan, he was a Muslim. He went to a pan shop, and so in the shop he was Hindu. In this shop was a small picture of Bal Gopal, baby Krishna. Ras Khan thought, this your Lord, he does not have any shoes. Again and again he repeated this. The shopkeeper said, you're Muslim, go from here. He was becoming irritated. Where's the shoes to your Lord, your Thakurji? When he said this again and again, it just said out of haste, go and get some shoes then, out of frustration, thinking that the panwala was teasing him. So what did Ras Khan do? He bought a small pair of shoes, and please, then he went back to the pawn shop to offer these shoes. They thought that this man must be mad. This is a madman. Where can I find Thakurji? The Ras Khan was thinking, with this enthusiasm, then the Lord has to accept. And also the Lord arranges. He's asking people, as he met them, where can I find Gopal to put these shoes on his feet? I'm remembering this. Ramani brought some shoes, and I remember this pastime. आपके लिए चंपल है गुरुदेव के लिए लखनऊ में. In Lucknow, she bought some shoes for Gurudev. The Ras Khan was asking everyone, because he was Muslim, and what do they wear? Some cloth that identifies that they're Muslim, the cap, upper cloth. He said, go to Vrindavan, you will find Gopal there. So he went with such eagerness, with such faith to Vrindavan. There was a temple there, it was closed. He took those shoes, he climbed the steps and it went into the temple. At that time the pujari saw, you cannot take shoes into the temple. Where do you put shoes? Outside. But he took these shoes into the temple to put to Thakurji. The pujari also thought this person was mad and closed the doors of the temple. The Raskan was so absorbed in his desire to offer these shoes to Thakurji and to put them on his feet. He sat on the bottom of the steps of the temple. Night time, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 a.m. At that time, 1 o'clock, these jum tinkling of ankle bells sounds. And he looked around. Directly, Gopal. And Thakurji's feet were bare. It's a little blood coming from Thakurji's feet. And he said to Thakurji, I've come to put these shoes on your feet. And Gopal came running. Why are you not wearing shoes? If I was wearing shoes, then you would not have brought me shoes. Now you can give me these shoes. I've come a long way to receive your shoes. That's why there's blood coming from my feet. Raskan wiped the Lord's feet with his cloth. Jai. This example, when the devotee is absorbed and wants to serve the Lord, then the Lord will definitely accept that devotee's service. Here it's written, every day when Mother Yashoda sings Govinda Damodar Adaveti, then Gopal woke up. If one calls the Lord with love and devotion, suddenly the Lord will wake up. In this way, Mother Yashoda's Vatsalya love, Gopal woke up. Gopal's thinking to himself, Mother Yashoda, every day, early in the morning, wakes Krishna up, wakes Gopal up. But today, Mother Yashoda did not wake Gopal. Today she is churning the yogurt. Mother Yashoda is churning the vachan and chanting in these absorbed moods. Gopal woke up thinking every day Mother Yashoda wakes me up. But today she's not. My sleep is broken. That Mother Yashoda is churning the yogurt with tears in the eyes. This motherly affection of Mother Yashoda, this is speciality of Vatsalya Prem. In this absorption, in these moods, Mother Yashoda churning the yogurt and chanting the names of the Lord, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. And Gopal is thinking in this way. How wonderfully it's being described. Mother Yashoda every day wakes with sweet melodies, as like also when she this very sweet way she puts me to sleep by singing, and she wakes me up by singing. The small baby does not want to sleep. Then the mother sings to the baby very nicely, sweetly. Like grandmother stories. Huh? Lullaby. Huh? The baby goes to sleep. In this same way, patting Gopal on the back, she puts him to sleep. On the shoulders, gently wake up. In the sweet mood, when Radha and Govinda are sleeping, in the same way, Sukh and Sari, they chant, sing so sweetly, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes in this kirtan. In these very sweet moods, Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes Sukh and Sari, female and male parent, they sing to wake up Radha and Krishna. And Krishna is thinking in the same way, Mother Yashoda, every day she wakes me up with sweet melodies, lullabies. But today she hasn't. She's churning yoga. I'm so hungry. Kanaya is saying, how long will one person sleep? One person came to somebody's house, and Gurudev used to recite such stories. And this person, his family members, made so many preparations for them. But they're very shy to say that they are hungry, although they are hungry. And some people are quite simple, like village people. They do not force the guest, just in case the stomach gets upset. He went to sleep. They did not call him to eat. He was hungry, but he was too shy to ask. So he wrote one letter and he put letter. If you call me again, I will certainly come. He wrote one note to the host. If you call me, I will surely come. If you call me again, I will certainly come. In this way, Kanaya is thinking, Mother Yashoda did not wake me up today. And secondly, I'm hungry, very hungry. They used to get very nice, sweet examples like this. Mother Yashoda was absorbed in churning yogurt, absorbed in her mood. Here Gurudev saying, the person who is self-satisfied and no desires to fulfill is today hungry. And so he began to cry loudly. Mother Yashoda was so absorbed in her mood of churning the yogurt and the sound of the churning, she couldn't hear Krishna crying. When the child is hungry, it cries. Look how the Lord is performing this pastime. On one side, you saw that Mother Yashoda did not wake him up and she's busy in churning yogurt. And I'm hungry. And thinking that Mother Yashoda should come to me. So knowingly, he began to cry. A child does not cry for no reason. There's some reason behind a child crying. Mother Yashoda absorbed in the kirtan. Daveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti He Krishna Eya Saketi Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. The glories of Sankirtan. Everyone gathering together to perform Sankirtan. There's two types of kirtan. One performed by oneself with chanting, moving the lips. That kirtan, that is called kirtan. The moving of the lips is called kirtanam. But Sankirtanam is many people gathering together and chanting and want to get at the same time. That is called Sankirtan. What is the difference between the two? If you do kirtan on your own, it's not so much potency. But if everyone gathered together, chanting, that sound reaches to Golok Vrindavan. Even Govinda's throne starts to shake. If you chant on your own, maybe the Lord listens or not listen. But if you chant together collectively, or all the Vaishnavas gathered together, then the Lord comes running. Shraddha Bindu Diya Deva Krishna Namadana Vaishnava Thakura Daya Sakara Etase Karuna Adya Pada Chaya Shoye Hamari Tumara Charana Gauri Ayavigadami Chaya Dosha Shodi Chaya Guna Devodasi Hare Hamari Vasachi Sange Rayashi Ekaki Hamar Nahi Pahe Vana Harinama Sankirtan Kripa Kori Shava Bindu Diya Deva Krishna Namadani Tumhara Shadite Paro Tumhara Shakti Ashre Anamito Kankara Krishna Krishna Bodhi Anamito Kankara Krishna Krishna Bodhi Daika Mashe Mashe Sankirtan meanings everyone gathering together and chanting and sitting together. If you do alone, your mind also can go from one place to another. But when sitting with Guru and Vaishnavas together and chanting, hearing Harikatha and chanting, then the mind becomes steady and focused. In this way, Gurudev is saying, Govinda Damodar. She was chanting loudly. She could not hear Govinda crying, being absorbed in this mood. So Govinda, not being any less determined, he saw Mother Yashoda is chanting the Agad. Then he was thinking, how can I call Mother Yashoda? So he started to cry. Even crying didn't attract her attention. She could not hear him. Then what did he do? Rubbing his eyes with his hands, otherwise crying, he came to Mother Yashoda, using his stomach, climbing down from the cot. He doesn't know how to cry, pretending to cry or not knowing how to cry. Knowingly, he's rubbing his eyes. Came down from his cot. Still, Mother Yashoda could not hear him. At that time, with one hand, he grabbed Mother Yashoda's hair, and the other hand, that rod for churning, he took in his hand. When you put your hand, he put on Mother Yashoda's head, at least she would look at him. You have to maybe shake if his head is turning. If they don't turn their head, then you grab that person. In that same way, Mother Yashoda first put his hand on Mother Yashoda's head, and with the second hand, he took hold of the churning rod. Here, this is very nice pastime for a child, 2 to 3 years old, with that rod which is going churning very fast. How is it possible that they will grab this rod? He's showing his majesty. This churning rod is, when it's moving fast, if you hold that rod, your hands will scrape, will blister. When he grabbed that rod, stopped churning. In Krishna, this majesty is opulence, potency. If it was an ordinary child, they could not do this. Just think a little about this. That rod which is spinning by the rope, it's spinning quite fast. He was only 2.5 to 3 years old. His hands were very soft. If you catch that churning rod, even your hands would bruise or scrape. But the Lord, He grabbed the rod and the rod became still, meaning He's showing His opulence. All the things in Braj are transcendental, conscious. The milk is conscious, the rod is also transcendental. To serve Govinda, these pastimes are taking place. Yat kinchit yat kinchit yat kinchit Golok Vrindavan, all those things that are there, all transcendental. Yat kinchit, they're all conscious beings. There is nothing gross in the spiritual world. Great demigods, they are paying their obeisances to Golok Vrindavan because everything, even a grain of sand, is transcendental. In this material world, that grain of sand is material, unconscious. There is two things, conscious and unconscious being, unconscious matter. But in the spiritual transcendental realm, everything is conscious being. There are three willing and knowing, three aspects to consciousness: feeling, willing and knowing. If we use this word Chetan, these three specialities is feeling, willing and knowing. If you plant a creeper inside the house, that creeper will find the source of light, will go towards the light like a sunflower. It will turn towards the sun, and the sunflower will turn to the movement of the sun. In the morning it will face the east, or in night when it sets it will be towards the west. Where there is consciousness, these dharma, these innate qualities will be there. In the transcendental realm, everything is conscious being. There's nothing unconscious. It looks material, but it is not. Why? When Gopal grabbed the churning rod, today the Lord is instructing me to stop churning. So when the Lord grabbed that rod, it stopped churning. Seeing it like an ordinary pastime, that Gopal stopped churning when Gopal held that rod. But in the transcendental realm, everyone works under the instruction of Govinda. Today, Krishna is giving the instruction to stop churning. That rod stopped by itself. And just imagine a 2.5-year-old child being able to, or grabbing a churning rod. It's not possible. Your hand will be bruised. He hasn't got the strength in his hand to stop that churning rod going at such a speed. This is His majesty. There's that majesty, Ishwarya. And then at the same time, this sweetness. In Vrindavan, this opulence is covered by this very sweet mood. The rod is thinking, my Lord is giving me the instruction to stop spinning. In reality, that rod stopped by itself, by the desire of the Lord. This is also one consideration. Raghunath Das Goswami is saying in the shlok, Mukunda Detam Mukalambaram in Vrindavan, oh, everything is used in the service of the Lord and is favorable. If it was an ordinary churning rod, then Gopal's hand would have bruised, blistered or cut. But Gopal, nothing happened to Gopal. Meaning, when Gopal stretched out his hand, then the rod understood. He's giving me instructions to stop. The Lord touched the rod and immediately it stopped. Simultaneous opulence and sweetness. Without opulence, there's no sweetness. Without sweetness, there is no opulence. One plays on the other. In Srila Baladev Vibhushan Prabhu, he explains these two dualities, opulence and sweetness. Where there is total opulence and material sweetness is where it's like a human-like pastimes. If where there is opulence or not, but where there is lokik sambandhavat, like ordinary human-like pastimes, there is sweetness there. Can you understand? In Vrindavan, there is opulence. All potencies are there. But externally, it looks like due to possessiveness and dealings of ordinary human-like pastimes, that danda, that rod is made of wood. That rod also thought that I should not hurt the delicate hands of the Lord. It is very important shlok, this shlok. The Supreme Lord, who giver of all pleasure. There is nothing unfavorable in Golok Vrindavan. Everything is favorable. very dear to the Lord. There is possessiveness. Where there is love, there is this mamata. When there is this love that this is mine, and this possessiveness, it covers and captivates that which is most dear to us. The rod is thinking. Service is of two types, with service and mamata, possessiveness. What we call prem, the language of love. The language of love. This possessiveness should only be directed towards the Lord. The perverted reflection of that is lust, kam. That mamata, possessiveness, when it is with full of love and devotion, can devotional practice take place. The rod was thinking that it should not hurt the hands of Govinda because they are so delicate. If we look from the Tattva Vichar point of view, how can a 2.5-year-old child stop a fast spinning rod? Only because that rod is transcendental, and think that my Lord Govinda will be hurt. Prema Sangata. That the essence of this love is this possessiveness and service tendency. And how is that service? It's full of relationship. As much as our knowledge of relationship is condensed, that much service mood will be. So first, what should we have? We should have knowledge of relationship. Without sambandha, everything else is useless. That's why we do not have prem, nor do we have possessiveness. For this reason, this definition of prem, Prema Sangata. Do you understand?
चलती भी मधानी का दंड पकड़ दिया और दंड के रुकने से मैया ध्यान भंग।
Now Mother Yashoda's meditation is broken. The rod has stopped churning. If he was an ordinary child, they would not have done this. This is the opulence of the Lord. Mother Yashoda saw that rod was not churning. And then her meditation broke. Meaning, when the Lord comes directly, in this kirtan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, great yogis who perform meditation, they cannot do it. Who can meditate as much as Brahma. Our hearts are contaminated with lust, anger, greed. Yes, if the body is contaminated, we can wash it with water. But how do we wash that dirt in our heart?
शरीर में मैला लग जाता है प्रातः काल में उठकर यहाँ
In the morning we bathe to clear the dirt from our body.
तन में मैल लगे तो धोए
But how can we wash that dirt from our heart? It's not like you cannot wash it with tissue paper. In the Western country, क्या लगाते हैं? In the colder countries, in Russia, America, they cannot bathe. It's cold there. Here it's warm. But here we're taking the habits of the Westerners. What's happening to us? Copying Western tradition when we don't need to. You see today those intelligent, wealthy person copying the Western tradition of using tissue paper. Are your hands clean by using tissue paper? No, you have to use water. This is the conception of scriptures. You have to bathe with water. Clean the dirt. I want to say more, but I don't want to. When I went to pass water in the toilet, there was no water. I was very disturbed. Hare Krishna. We don't have this habit. Baby. Not possible to be clean. Will you perform Archana of Thakurji in that same cloth? You need to be clean to perform Archana of Thakurji. If not bathe in the morning, at least bathe in the afternoon. The Shastra says we should bathe 3 times a day. If you don't bathe, then you're going to be clean. All the learned as the people and big business people, wealthy people, how do they clean themselves with tissue paper? After eating, they don't wash their hands, they just take tissue. Reuse. क्या लिखा है? Reuse. क्या लिखा है? Reuse. Use me. Use me. Use me. Not reuse. Use me. In the dustbin. It's written. Throw in the dustbin. How wonderful. In that country, the climate is such, don't disturb them too much. But if we copy them, what is the difference between us and them? In the scriptures that is said that you have to bathe. You should wear neck beads. Not meaning that you have to hold the neck of another's wife and bathe. Parastri means the neck beads, tulsi. You should wear neck beads and bathe with neck beads. In the month of Magh, January, the Triveni Sangam, the confluence of Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati. Stay there 1 month and bathe in the Triveni at the time of death. You will attain Satyalok and Brahmalok. And waking up early in the morning and bathing, you will attain Vaikuntha. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go to Swarg, Satyalok, or do you want to go to Vaikuntha? Don't you bathe with tissues? You go to hell. And speak the truth. I'm not swearing at you. You cannot chant your Gayatri mantras in the state. No, you have to be clean. We will be purified by using water. In scripture it is said how one can be purified. How do you purify a blanket? You put it in the sun. The scriptures explain. Our body is purified by water. The mind is purified by chanting mantras. It's saying in this verse, if your body is dirty, it can be cleaned with water. Your heart, your mind can be cleaned by chanting mantras, by chanting Gayatri mantras. We need to discriminate what to use for what purpose. Hare because you're laughing. At least improve your condition. You go to the foreign countries or you watch foreign movies. That's what you do. You're copying. And now you think you're very following rules and regulations, etiquette. How clean we keep our bathrooms clean. Keep everything in one container and then throw it outside. Oh, you think yourself very learned. You put your tissue paper in the bin and then let them do what they do in the foreign countries. We are from Bharat. We should not copy. We follow the Vedic injunctions. We don't want to follow. We want to follow the Western tradition. This is not good. This is a matter of sorrow. Those are atheistic countries, impersonalist. Bhaktivedanta Swami. This pranam mantra Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. Gauravani Prachara Visheshasana Kasyata Deshatan. They put an adjective to this. Sunyavad. Nirvishesh and Sunyavad. If we follow those habits of those countries, then what is the difference between us and them? They will take our teachings, or we should take theirs. We're not criticizing. We're speaking quite clearly and openly. Will they be able to teach us, or we will teach them? What can we learn from them? But we have to practice ourselves so that we can teach. Why have you come to us? They asked Swami Maharaj in the Western countries. Swami Maharaj answered very nicely. Our people in our country, they don't want to follow its own rules and regulations. They want to copy the Western countries. When I teach you, then they will listen to you. They will listen. If one Indian will not listen from another Indian, one Indian will listen to a foreigner when that foreigner speaks. When you go to the train, they will not ask me. They will talk to the Westerner sitting next to me. If you're an Indian and you have some Westerner sitting next to you, it's like they know an Indian knows an Indian. They're very familiar because they are white. They've got tilak. So they will listen very attentively. This is true, yes, or not? You see, if he stood up and spoke, everyone will listen. Contest. He will say the same thing. They will listen. Oh yes, very nice. We should put Tulsi. The way foreigners wearing Tulsi Nekpe is very impressive. But if I say 1,000 times, they will not listen. That's why Swami Maharaj, if I brought these elephants to train the black elephants, one story, one foreigner said, why Indian people are black? We are white. Then it said, when God created this world, He made 3 rotis. Made 3 rotis. The first roti, it was rather black. It got burnt. So he sent it to Africa. Just a joke. That roti was burnt. And they ate that and became black. The second roti they made was not cooked properly. It was not overcooked or and they sent it to the foreign countries, Western countries. They became white. The third roti I made it very nice and no marks, very nicely cooked and very nicely, very nice, slightly brown. Brown, we're not black. Don Bihari Lal ki jai. Have you heard? Not heard. Then, as people ask questions, you have to answer accordingly. Why is white? One is black. One is brown. Brown. Gewa. Gewa rang is called like grains. What type of roti did you eat? White, uncooked. This one, the third type of roti. What type of roti did you eat? Uncooked. No. Yeah, uncooked. Yes, this is true. The Lord made 3 rotis. What type of roti did you eat? This third type of roti. Yeah. Nice to joke sometimes. Sometimes it's good to joke because otherwise you become bored. Sir. This is Gurudev's. And then Mother Yashoda took Gopal in her lap and fed him breast milk. her meditation broke. When Krishna appears in front of us, and what need is there for meditation? There's two types of practice, mantramaya upasana and sarasik upasana. Sadhak first should perform mantramaya upasana, and performing this upasana, when they progress further, and then sarasik upasana will come. Just like when we chant Gopal mantra, this is mantramaya upasana, one shloka. Every shloka in the Vedas is one mantra. Krishna, Govinda, Gopijana, Vallabha. There's one name of Krishna, Gopijana. Mantramaya sarasik upasana. Chanting this mantra again and again, when your mind and this very pure mood manifest Sakha, Vatsalya and Gopijana Vallabha, this Madhurya Bhav. In this Gopal mantra, everything is there. By chanting this mantra, it will manifest in your heart like a seed has the potency. By favorable water, favorable soil, favorable sunlight will manifest, sprout, and then become a big tree and give flowers and fruits in the same way. That potency which is in the heart of the living entity, by chanting the holy names and doing the mantras, it will sprout. Sadhya Kabanai, Shranadi Sadachitta Karaha Vadai. It will, you have this, it will manifest. If you have Sakabhava will manifest. If you have a neem seed, then you will give neem. If you have Karela seeds, it will bring Karela. If you have mango seed, it will give mangoes. When the Jiva manifests from the Tatastha Shakti, by the desire of the Lord, this potency is there. By chanting these mantras, this mood will manifest. This Gopal mantra is very, very important. Mantra Raj is called Mantra Raj, the king of all mantras. Everybody should chant Gopal mantra. First of all, in the beginning, Gopal mantra was given. But now, give medicine in handfuls now. It's like giving so many mantras. Do you understand? It's 16 syllables. Gopal mantra is good. Aksha, 10 syllable Gopal mantra didn't work. Then 12 syllables. How many syllables in the Gopal mantra? There's Sura. Athara, 18 syllable Gopal mantra. That Gopal mantra we chant now, 18 syllables. You've not counted, and I've become tired of telling you again. Started shows. I'll have to beat you now. This Gopal mantra that we're chanting now is 18 syllables. First, it was only 6 syllable Gopal mantra. Then 10, then 12. Athara, 18 syllables. Okay, is there any more than that? It's like you cannot give such high dose medicine at the same time. First, it's the medicine is given in stages. Then they give 100 ml concentrate medicine. This is Gopal mantra is the maximum. And then the 24 syllable Kam Gayatri, there is no mantra. Then otherwise you'll live or you'll die. So beautiful moods, feel like continuing to read. So I'm reading in Hindi, saying Kanhaiya, seeing Kanhaiya, Mother Yashoda exhibited the 8 ecstatic symptoms. And there are 8 ecstatic symptoms. In the Vatsalya Ras, there are 9 ecstatic symptoms. In other rasas, there are 8. This Romancha, Kampashu, Vivarna. Then Vatsalya, there is one more. This milk flows from the breast. You should remember. I'll ask you tomorrow. Here it is written that one extra is the milk flowing from the breast. This her stimulation is the sweet face of Krishna. And hair standing on end and milk flowing from the breast. Saiva. This is the considerations of ras. When will these manifest in our heart? Vibhav, Anubhav, Satvik, Vibhicha. When ras will manifest? When Sthai Bhav, these 4 ingredients will manifest. Then ras will manifest. Try and remember, Sthai Bhav should be there. One fixed mood should be there. Vatsalya, that is the one Sthai Bhav. On top of that is Ashraya Lamban, Vishaya Lamban. You have to remember, I've spoken so many times. Try and remember these technical words. Seeing Gopal, seeing the sweet face of Krishna, these 8 symptoms manifest, and sat Krishna on her lap and gave breast milk to him. This very beautiful mood. Just meditate on this, how Mother Yashoda took Krishna on her lap and how she gave breast milk to him. And then she experienced these 8 ecstatic symptoms. Mother Yashoda stopped chanting the yogurt and started to breastfeed Krishna. And that milk was boiling, overflowing. The milk thought, Mother Yashoda's milk will never finish, and Krishna's stomach will never be full for eternity. If he drank that milk from Mother Yashoda, she would not stop producing milk, and Krishna would never be satisfied. The Gopal is God. There's no end to his love. So the milk was thinking, I will not be able to serve, what service would be left for me? If my life is not engaged in the service of the Lord, then my life is useless. Thinking like this, it wanted to enter into the fire. That milk began to overflow. What happens when milk overflows? It will overflow. When you heat milk, if you want to stop it overflowing, then you put sprinkle some cold water on top. It will stop. And you cannot hold the milk pot and try to take it off the stove. If you want to stop it from overflowing, you sprinkle some cold water. You should know this. Those who cook in the kitchen should know this. If you find a cloth, science words, by that time all the milk would have overflowed. If you have some cold water and very quickly sprinkle that on the milk, and it will stop overflowing. Bhajan, devotional practice should perform, but you should also have some understanding of everyday etiquette, everyday knowledge, common knowledge. Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Shri Bhaktivinoda Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. What type of roti did you eat? The third time. Uncooked. First one. No, second one. The first one was black.
Second roti. Roti. No.
यहाँ मत
अच्छा ठीक है